Today's discussion, neediness and the many ways it masks itself, and how to identify it within yourself. That's right, doesn't matter who you are, we all have needs. And all our behaviors and decision making is driven by our needs. So listen to that again. I'm gonna repeat the key points that are extremely important. All your behaviors, actions, and decision making is driven by your needs. So which needs are being met by your decision-making process? Let's talk about the 3 basic needs, and this has nothing to do with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is a different system. So the first one is safety and security. The second one is self-worth and significance. Self-worth being what you perceive yourself, your own value as, your own worth. Significance, for the sake of this exercise, is what others perceive, what you perceive others to perceive your significance or worth as. Then the third, and write these down because you're going to have to use these to target and identify your needs. The third one is connection and or love. So these are the 3 basic human needs that we are going to work with right now. So the objective of this is to target and identify your needs that are being met in all of your behaviors and decisions and actions, especially in the areas of life where you feel stuck, or you just seek change, or you feel limited. The purpose of doing this exercise is to identify all the areas of your life where you are feeling like you need this change, like you're just like, fuck life, what else is there? Or I just need to get out of this. And what we want to do is create more choices for you. We want to take you out of the limitations and show you what you were not previously able to see. We want to give you alternative options to fulfill those needs that need to be fulfilled, but in a healthier way, in a way that's going to bring you more joy, happiness, and freedom. So whether this means healthier choices within your relationship or healthier relationships and people altogether, healthier friendships, habits, if you have any addictions, we can replace that with, we can figure out what your need is and replace that addiction with something healthier to fulfill the same need. If you have any bad habits, we can figure out the need being met and perhaps exchange it for productive hobbies, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, so what do I want to talk about first here? Oh my God, my paper's wet. So I think what I want to do is discuss we can start off by relationships. First of all, it takes a lot of energy. Sorry guys, it's Mercury retrograde, and I've been finding it, and I love Mercury retrograde because it's a time of reflection and seeing things from a different perspective that you didn't before, but at the same time, it's taking me a lot more focus than I normally need to do things, and more meditation and everything. So if I seem scattered, it's because I am. Straight up, I'm scattered. This is taking me a lot of focus and energy just to talk right now. Anyways, enough complaining for me. So it takes a lot of wasted energy. There's a lot of wasted energy that goes into fulfilling other people's needs, and also in finding people to fulfill your needs. So we want to target where this is happening within your relationships. So write down these questions. There are 2 questions I want you to ask yourself. The first one, and you got to be really honest, okay? You can't be biased when answering this. Where in your life are you having expectations of others to fulfill your needs of, whether it's financial, happiness, joy, wholeness, entertainment, self-worth, value, validation, significance, love, excitement, energy, etc. Be honest with yourself. Sit with that question, write it down, really analyze your life, reflect. After you've answered that, the second question, where in your life are others having expectations of you to fill their cups of joy, or to fulfill their needs, whether it's financial, joy, fill their happiness, give them energy, fulfill their entertainment needs, love, significance, self-worth, wholeness, to-do lists, etc. Now, I'm going to be giving some examples, and I'm totally generalizing, okay? I'm going to give you about, well, let's talk about 4 different personality types, the common ones. I think I'm going to start off by the type that I used to be and still have to always reflect upon all my actions and behaviors to make sure I don't fall back into that. Because you can only truly come from a place of authenticity when you are void of those needs being fulfilled by other people or other things or events or places. When you find self-actualization and you are able to fill all of those needs within yourself without looking to outside forces, then you know that you're coming from a place of true authenticity. You're serving from a true place of authenticity. You're helping people from a true place of authenticity. You're living from a true place of authenticity, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, generalization. If you're the type of person that's always seeking people to help, and this is a tricky one because it could be a subconscious behavior, so you may not be aware that that's what you're doing, or you could be well aware of it, or it could be a bit of both. If you if you're the type of person that's always looking to help people or looking for people to help, perhaps you're looking for a wounded person to help. Again, this is gonna irk you because I know I used to be one of these people. You may think you're coming from a place of wholeness and wanting to help, but the truth is there's a need within here. And if you're gonna be honest with yourself, go to those 3 basic needs and search and see which one it is. There is a need for these hero types to feel a sense of significance. And they constantly try to help people, even when people don't even ask to be helped. They want to change people. They want to, whatever it is. Give people their information, their knowledge, and force it in them, even when they don't ask sometimes. And they believe they're coming from a place of heart, and maybe they are. I mean, there's that element of it too, right? Of course. But it's not true authenticity because there's still a need to feel significant and have self-worth, perhaps even love. You got to figure out what it is for you. It could be all 3 of those needs. It's not just going to be one all the time. It could be one. It could be 1. It could be 2. It could be 3. There are other needs, but for the sake of this, until you are at a point of self-actualization, we're just going to use those 3. So this pattern and behavior is rooted from seeking self-worth or significance. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear that because, especially the hero types, that's going to hurt the ego. Let's talk about the empath and the narcissist. Oof, this is a big one because unfortunately a lot of people are stuck in these cyclical patterns, relationship patterns, and it is the most toxic and addictive and abusive type of relationship. So the empath is seeking to save the narcissist, to help the narcissist. And this relationship dynamic, if the empath is going to be honest with themselves, what they're truly seeking is to find self-worth within themselves and change the narcissist so that they, in turn, will finally love them. Extremely toxic, my friends. Extremely toxic. When you truly figure out the needs, do the exercise that I'm going to give you after this. Target the needs being met, because only then can you break these patterns. Next, the lost child syndrome. These people usually pair up with the heroes. The lost child syndrome is something I termed, it's not an actual thing, but these people often have some variation of dependent personality disorder, and that is a thing. But I don't like to give labels to things, so I'm going to say dependent personality disorder patterns, which these people often have a very difficult time making decisions, big or small. Their loved ones, it's toxic for their loved ones. It's very toxic, very draining. They can't make their own decisions. They depend on their loved ones to do it. They depend on their loved ones to make them feel significant, for their self-worth, for them to constantly give them validation. They're, they constantly create some kind of drama. They, something that could be easily resolved, they might blow up and again, create drama. They are literally like children. They are extremely dependent, and it's very unhealthy for them and for the people that love them. So the lost child needs to understand that they are capable of being a powerful human being. Everybody is. Everyone is. And if you are the hero type, you are not being of service by enabling the child, because they're not going to change their behaviors if they don't have the motivation to change it. So, avoid enabling them. Put them in positions if you want to help them. Stop doing things for them. Stop. Just stop. Put them in positions of leadership, or don't put anyone in any position. Show them the way. And if they choose to learn, then they do. If they don't want to, back off. You can't force people to change. But I know people like this. I have people I care for that have this dependent personality disorder, and I understand that inner need to want to help them, to empower them. But the reality is you're going to drain yourself if they are not ready to change. And if they are ready to change, you present them with tools and opportunities to see their own power and then step away. Don't do too much. They have to figure out ways of putting themselves in leadership positions, of making decisions for themselves, and doing things on their own, having their own life and not relying so much on someone else to fulfill their entertainment needs. Anyways, I can keep going on. I said I'm not gonna go too deep into these. So I don't mean to sound like I'm talking down if you are that lost child, if you have that personality, if that's your predominant. I'm not talking down to you. All I'm saying is if you want to change that about yourself, you can. You just have to figure out which needs are being met. What are the beliefs around your behaviors? And what needs are being met by your decision-making process? And we're going to replace it with healthier decisions, with healthier choices, more empowering ones. So what do I want to do next? Oh my goodness, guys, I am so tired. Yeah, I think pretty much now just analyze your interactions with people, and we're going to get to addictions and bad habits in a second. Analyze your decision. So if there's anywhere in your relationship where you are having a hard time, or where you seek change, or where you feel stuck, analyze those situations and figure out in that moment where you feel stuck, in that moment where you feel like where you seek change, or in that moment where you feel limited, what decision have you made? Whether you believe that that's the only decision or not, doesn't matter, just write it down. What decision did you make that is keeping you in that place? Don't worry about anything else, just write the decision, be honest. Then figure out what need is being met by the decision that you made. Is it, are you choosing to stay, okay, let's just use a relationship again. Are you choosing to stay in a relationship that is toxic because, to please other people? Because that is rooted in connection and love, in safety, and in significance, all three of them. So if you guys need help breaking down the process, I'm happy to help, because I know it can be tricky sometimes, figuring out your needs. Figure out your needs with any place, any area in your life you seek change. Go into that very moment and figure out what decision is keeping you there and what need is being met by that decision. Now, if you have any bad habits or addictions or anything that is taking over your life that you really want to change, really go within yourself. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If you're an alcoholic, I want you to, the next time you go to have your alcohol and have those moments, or if you smoke weed and you want to change that, or I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anything. I'm just saying if you want to change certain habits, really go within, especially if you're in the action of doing it. That's the best time to do it. Go within and see what need is being met. Are you feeling empty somewhere? Is it giving you love? Is that alcohol filling your need for love? I know that sounds weird. Is it making you feel comfortable? Is it giving you comfort? That's safety. So really figure out what the needs are, write them down, plus the 2 questions that I asked in the beginning, which one of your needs are being filled by others, and I want just the list that I gave you, and where in your life are others depending on you for their needs to be met. So write those all down. That's your homework. It is absolutely necessary to do these homeworks if you want to seek change. The Ascension Project. God bless.